Hello. Welcome to Current Exposure. What's up, people? How is everyone doing out there? Oh my gosh. Let me get the banner up. Let me get the banner up. Let me get the banner up. We're going to have Zaire Ruffin tuning in a bit late. Let's see. Hold on. Uh-oh. Let's see. Uh-oh. Oh, hold up. Ah, wow. I can't copy anything. Hold up. Hold up. Let me see. Okay. Oh, I haven't. Okay. Let's get this banner going for you guys at the bottom. All right. Let's show that. Okay. The mayor of Newark and 3 Democratic Congress members were the center of political quarrel this week. As you all know, Delaney Hall used to be a halfway house that rehabilitated majority of Black men who were convicted of crimes. They were paroled from the jail to the halfway house, and some of them completed their sentences. And then they did like a lot of reentry work there too. And Delaney Hall, when Black bodies occupy the space, I believe there's 1,000 beds or something like that. There were no protests, there were no outcries in the community. And these are more than likely descendants of slaves, foundational Black Americans who were convicted of crimes. And we don't know, some of them could have been innocent. But what I can't agree with when it comes to Mayor Baraka's arrest is that it's easy to get arrested in America if you're Black. What's up, everybody? How are you? But yeah, I've actually been myself in a situation where I was arrested in the city of Newark by Black and brown officers, and it turned out that I'm innocent. It turned out that the felony charges didn't stick because I was innocent, but from the beginning I was treated as I was guilty. So I had to experience that hard fact of life, being Black in America, a Black woman at that. I didn't even know things like this happen to Black women. Like, well, you know what? I knew, but I didn't think it would happen in Newark. You know, we saw what happened with Sandra Bland, and the devaluation of her life. And then also the young lady, I forgot her name, where the police shot her up in her apartment because they came looking for her boyfriend or something like that for a crime that he committed that she knew nothing of. But yeah, it's like easy to get arrested, like in America if you're Black. You can, yeah, you can get yourself arrested real easy, really easy. Somebody can lie on you, or you can just do what Mayor Raz Baraka did and get yourself arrested. Like Chris Christie said, it took him 2 tries. So he kept trying it. And as you recall on the last show when we had Zaire on, he said that he was going to get arrested if he keeps going down there and it's not, his jurisdiction. He's going to get arrested. Now, the Congress people, of course, let them do their jobs, but I just didn't understand the third party, or as we would say, the third eye. The third eye was unnecessary. So now the Democratic Party is dealing with the repercussions of that. A lot of people are saying that it was a political stunt. I know immediately after, well, actually during, I heard that Mayor Baraka was held for like 5 hours or something like that. But at 4:57, I don't know what time. Actually, let me see. Let me see the actual time. There was a mass text message that went out, asking for people to donate money. And that's what made me believe, okay, this is some type of political expediency. Oh, Friday. Okay, Friday at 4:57 p.m. It says breaking. Raz Baraka has been arrested. Raz was at Delaney Hall today demanding entry into the ICE detention center where Trump and MAGA extremists are illegally detaining people. Raz is ready to do whatever it takes to stop Trump and to protect New Jerseyans from his extreme agenda. We need you with us now more than ever. Donate now. And it has the link for ngpvan.com. And I've texted so many times to opt out, and they never opt me out. But I ended up getting this text, and maybe this will be used as evidence too, because I believe there was another text circulating for people to donate. Why are we donating when you cause your own arrest? Why? And then for me, like I said, it's easy to get arrested if you're Black in America. Why would you want to do that though? Why would you put yourself in that position? That's like somebody lying about being raped. That's like somebody lying about being robbed or a crime was committed against them just to get somebody else in trouble. I think that's low and desperate. But you guys put in the comments, tell me what you think about that. Let me see if I can put this up here to the camera. But yeah, this is what it says. Can you guys read it? Wait, hold on. Camera zooming out. It may be backwards. I should have did this a different way. But yeah, why are you asking people to donate money for something that you caused? It's not an emergency. Like this was a voluntary arrest to make some type of political statement, which I think backfired and failed. And the Congress people that were involved, I would never take any of them with me to the good fight. You had a senior citizen who, you had two ineffectual Congress people who were slid in by the Democratic machine. There's no way on earth they would have gotten in by their own merits. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. There were way more better candidates. And in the fact that this is the son of Bob Menendez with the gold bars, and now the golden H from Newark City Hall is missing. I don't know if there's a connection, but this one is for the conspiracy theorists. You guys need to look into that. Who has any faith in him? Who trusts him? And then we have the former council president slash Central Ward council member that just got slid in because she knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody at the top that pulled her in for the job. But she's not experienced. The language she was using, this is not, come on, we're not out in the streets. We're not out in the streets in the back alleyway, fighting for our lives. Come on, it's not that serious. And kudos to the ICE officer. I don't know what her actual rank is, but I think her name was Perez, the black ICE officer that kept everything calm and cool. And she tried to de-escalate the situation. I like the way she handled it. And if we're talking about supporting other black people, she handled that situation pretty well. And I think that Congresswoman McIver should have listened to her and followed her lead. But, when you have people that's big in the head or they don't earn the positions that they get into, they just act the way that we saw. Belligerent. J-Main says, Corby don't want no parts. Absolutely. Let me also bring that up. Cory Booker has been silent. He's actually focused on what's going on at the Newark airport with the what do you call the I forgot the name of the people that make sure everything is safe in the air, the FAA agents or representatives. He's been focused on that, which is a good thing because that's where the focus needs to be. And Governor Murphy also has been focused on Netflix opening up the new production studio down in I think I forgot the township. It was one of the old military forts. I think that's is that Middle or South Jersey? I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. So that's a huge clue as to how rogue Mayor Baraka, Congresswoman McIver, Congressman Menendez, and Congresswoman Watson Coleman went. They were all rogue. They all went rogue. I believe they went against the Democratic plan. And that's the thing about politics. Everybody has to move together on one accord, and they're moving as a machine all together. If this section moves, you move. And that's what I noticed what they do in the Democratic Party. And these people went rogue with this ICE detention center protest. Also, let me bring to people's attention that, okay, if people were being improperly detained and mistreated at this Delaney Hall / ICE detention facility, then where is the proof? Where are the interviews from the people who work there, who are detained there, who have relatives detained there? Also, DHS posted the profiles of the criminals who are detained there. So I need to know from the Democrats, are these people criminals or not? If they're not criminals, then where's the GoFundMe for their innocence? Where are the attorneys fighting for their innocence? The attorneys from ACLU fighting for them to be released. Where, like, let's be clear with that. And people get into the comments that, let me go to, actually, I want to go to the DHS website and bring this up. I want to bring this up. Let's put this in Delaney Hall. Let's see. Let's go right to the press release. Let's go right into the press release. Okay. All right. We will share the screen. Okay. All right. Let's go here. Can it? Okay. You all can see this. Let's scroll down. Let's scroll down. Okay. This gentleman, well, I don't know if he's a gentleman at this point, if he was arrested for being an active member of MS-13. So we have this guy right here. Has the Democratic Party proven otherwise, that this is somebody we want around us? Is this somebody who's innocent? Let's scroll on down. And this guy right here, let's see. He is wanted in Brazil for homicide. For homicide. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on going to the next person. MS-13, gang affiliation. Like, are these people innocent? I mean, if these people are innocent, then yes, we need to be fighting for their rights and everything like that. But if they've committed the crime, like for an example, if I'm Black and I could get arrested in the United States of America because someone lied on me and I didn't do anything, and nobody is protesting and fighting for me with the proof, why are they not proving that these people are innocent to validate and legitimize their fight for these people? I just don't understand that. I don't understand. I don't. If it's more than them, if it's beyond them being here illegally, why not fight for their innocence? Why not? If they're innocent, but if they're not innocent, why fight for them to stay when you don't even fight for the innocent Black Americans who get arrested? I need to understand that. Someone help me understand. All right, let's see. Who else? This guy right here. Estevez has multiple felony convictions for possession of controlled dangerous substances, drug trafficking, possession of a weapon for unlawful purposes. And he's a part of the street gang Dominicans Don't Play, DDP. Okay. Okay. So what part of innocent until proven guilty are these people? I mean, they're going to have their day in court. They're getting a free place to live. They're getting room and board. They're getting food. They're getting clothing. The clothing probably don't fit too well. I can attest to that. The food is probably disgusting. I can also attest to that. But you're out of the elements and you do have a roof over your head. And if you're a criminal, I mean, you got to kind of accept what you're given at this point if you've harmed people and you've committed homicides. This guy, Maximo Nunez, 50-year-old citizen of Dominican Republic. Drugs, obstruction, administration of the law, unlicensed driving, assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, and interference with custody of children. All right. And then we have the top 5 egregious arrests. These people, this guy raped a minor. Sick. Let's see. Are these people innocent? Are they innocent? MS-13. Endangering sexual contact with a child by a caretaker. Wow. Sicko, 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 sicko. Why do these people? Yeah, this is sick. This one aggravated sexual abuse. Abuse aggravated by a guardian and a minor under the age of 18 years of age, taking advantage of pre-existing cohabitation and aggravated repeated simple sexual abuse. This is sick. Sick, 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 sick. Okay, so that's on the DHS website. Now, if the Democrats can prove otherwise and not make the fight, which also turned into being about the arrest of Mayor Baraka, it quickly shifted from them caring so much about the illegal immigration and how the policy was being adjusted or played out. Like how do you and you start asking to donate money to your campaign, to his run for governor, not even a donation to the defense of the illegal immigrants who are innocent, the ones who are innocent, if there are any who are innocent. It could be some who are innocent, but all of that got lost in political expediency and people making it about their interests in propelling forward in a political career. And it's sad that politics has gotten to this point. It at least, politics at least used to be somewhat about the people, but now it's everyone for him or herself. And it's about how far they can go. And they use people's experiences and struggles with life as their stepping stones to propel themselves forward. It's not about advancing everyone in the community and in the greater good. It's not about that. It's about personal evolution. That's what it's about. Even if you look at this mayor and you look at the statistics of the city of Newark, the median income hasn't gone up. Home ownership hasn't gone up. So, what are you really leading your people towards? Are you leading your people to continue to rely on governmental programs to supplement their income and to continue to rely on public housing? Are you not pushing your residents towards self-sufficiency? Are you not pushing your residents to make contributions in their own community and grow and develop within their own community? What are you doing as a leader if you're not building your people? I just don't understand. Like, and why wasn't there any protest when the black bodies occupied Delaney Hall? And let me just hold on. I may have another clip for that too. Let me see. Hold on one second. I think I have a clip. Let me hold up. I think this is important to show you guys this because yeah, it's going to make you think differently when you have all the facts. Let's go now. Geo also was in charge of Delaney Hall when the black bodies were there. And let me just show you guys this. All right. So there was an event where the residents showed their creativity for Black history, and this was a part of a reentry program assignment with the guys in honor of Black History Month. They came up with creative activities to educate residents about Black history and the powerful message of persistence, hope, and change. As you can see, you have a case manager where he did a letter writing campaign for residents at the reentry center. And do you see it right here? You see, let me see if I can take my mouse and highlight residential operated by GL reentry. The parolees wrote encouraging notes to residents of the youth in Essex County that detailed personal mistakes while also encouraging readers to be drug and alcohol free, stay away from guns, get an education, and find employment. Let's scroll down some more and let's look at the participants. This is what was happening. Nobody was protesting Delaney Hall then. You know, group counseling was going on there, all that type of stuff. No one was protesting about Delaney Hall. And you know what? Let me put these links. Let me put these links inside. I have to put these links inside comments so that you all can have access to them and you can go back and you can click on them and verify what I'm saying. Got proof of what I'm saying. I don't need to lie to anyone. I don't need to put on a front or do any type of political grandstanding or making myself, trying to make myself bigger than what I am for anyone. I just be myself. And what you see is what you get. And if you don't like it, then keep it moving. If you do, then engage and indulge. That's all I can say about that. But, you got these fake people who want to be more than what they are, want to claim that they do more than what they do for the community, which they don't. A lot of residents complained too. A lot of residents complained about the lack of same energy and momentum towards slumlords, towards the trash in Newark, towards the homelessness in Newark, towards the lack of employment in Newark. You had the deputy director of employment talking a lot of hot, big stuff, but who are you employing to make sure that the median for Newark residents go beyond 40,000? I mean, who's really living off of 40,000 a year on their own by themselves in a one-bedroom apartment at market rate? Nobody. Nobody, because it's not affordable that way. Cash assistance from 321 University Ave is not sustainable for life in Newark unless you have Section 8. And even with that, I don't know what people are doing, but yeah, like, why would you want to be in poverty all your life? Once you find out that's what it is. Oh, it's getting sunny outside. All right, so I was waiting for Zaire to come on. He said he would be joining a bit late. Let's see. Let's see if we can go to let's go to YouTube and let's pull up some situations. Oh, we still have Bernie. Oh, I want to see Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is back. Oh, I want to say also, I didn't see McIver body slam anybody. I just saw her put the forearm. She put the forearm in the back. That was a wrestling move. Then she used her stomach. She did a Rikishi move on an ICE agent. She did like some type of belly flop on his back. That was crazy. She put the forearm and the belly flop. I was like, wow. Oh my gosh. I would have ran from her. Too much body contact. Let's look at that. Hold on. Wait a minute. How long is this? We need the short clip. I'm trying to find the short clip. The body bumping. Body bumping. Hold on, people. The Rikishi. She did the Rikishi. Straight sumo. She sumoed the guy. Sumoed the ICE agent. I don't know what that move is called, but it was like a sumo move. Surround the mayor. Everybody surround the mayor. That's what they said. They said she was unhinged. Wow. Yeah. Not good. Not good at all. I would have never behaved in that way. I'm trying to find the sumo move so you guys could see. All right, let's go to Fox. We're gonna have to go to Fox. I didn't want to go to Fox. Let's see. Hold on. Hold up. Let's share that.
Afraid of this un-American hyperactivity, this weaponization of law enforcement.
We were getting reports prior to our tour.
Oh, they're not showing it.
This facility, those lawmakers continue to defend their actions and even blaming the agents there.
There we go. There it is. There it is.
Just
Did you
are
see
afraid
it?
of this.
Oh my gosh. Jay said she made herself look like a plum fool. She did. Did you see like it was like the belly flop on his back? Or did I? Oh my gosh. She used all her body weight like and pounced on his back. Why would you do that? That is not ladylike. Not at all. And then the forearm. It was like people were saying in the comments, they were, oh man, they were saying some mean, crazy things. They said it was a linebacker move. I was like, oh my gosh. It was crazy. It was the forearm. When I'm watching wrestling, it reminded me of wrestling. Like when the wrestlers come and the other wrestler has his back turned and he's pumping up the crowd. Then The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin comes and right in the back of the neck or in the back of the top of the shoulder. Yeah, and they just fall down. The guy, I guess he stood his ground. And then she came with the Rikishi belly flop. Like she put the belly out there. And I'm like, what is she doing? What is she doing? It was very foolish. It was very foolish. It was and clownish too. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a whole circus out there. It's a whole circus. Do they even know what the people did and what they're charged of? Like, why would you be out there if you're not protesting Northern State Prison? You're not protesting Broadway State Prison. They didn't protest when Delaney Hall housed a majority of Black men who were being rehabilitated from prison. So what's the issue now? What is the issue now? That they're rounding up or incarcerating or locking up I don't even know what the specific terminology is for it, but they're putting people who are here that committed crimes in Delaney Hall now. Don't we have an immigration policy that was there before these people even came into office? It's being enforced now. It's not like the policy doesn't exist now. And why there are a lot of people that I know and love who have immigrated here from countries legally, who had to go through a process, who have told me about it, where they're asked questions like, who is the current president? Where's the Statue of Liberty? And they have to speak English, and they go through this process and they pay money. I know at one point back in the day, it was like $400 plus some other fees to get your green card, and the green card, it makes you a lawful permanent resident. Then after 10 years, you can apply for naturalization. And naturalization is basically you're a citizen now. Like just and it's equal to people who were born here, but you have to have your naturalization document where it kind of looks like a birth certificate, but it's not. And it has your picture on it. Usually your picture at the time that you became naturalized. So if you were naturalized at 22, it has that picture up there. And then you keep the document. And now at that point, once you're naturalized, you're in America, you're considered an American citizen. You've given up your citizenship of your birth country. So there's a whole process to this that already exists. Like they're out there trying to reinvent the wheel, and for what? Just make the immigration policy better and different. And then you have people that feel like, why should I pay? Why should I go through the whole process of, going through getting tested? Basically, it's a test for you to be an American to get citizenship. Why should I go through that if people came here who didn't go through that and they get the same life? Why do I have to go through that? Let's be logical here. They have a point, and they feel like, well, my citizenship should have been free. I shouldn't have had to go through all of that. I should have just came in like the people who come in who don't go through the process. And I mean, maybe at one point that probably wasn't a problem when people were sneaking in illegally and they were coming and under the radar doing the right thing. But now you have people who are doing it who are criminals and who continue to commit crimes on American soil too, not only back in their birth country. So let's be for real about this. Like the immigration policy needs to be addressed. And you have like a whole bunch of people just coming in. Remember the caravan, and Kamala Harris got on the mic at the press conference and said, do not come. And I don't think she said, do not come to be mean or anti-immigrant. She said it because there's a process. There's a legal process. If we want to talk about upholding the Constitution, upholding the law, and all this other stuff that these Democrats purported that they were doing when they went to Delaney Hall, then let's do it. Be consistent. Be consistent. Like, don't pick and choose when you feel like, oh, the law isn't going to apply. We're going to skirt the law and adjust the law, but you don't adjust it when innocent Black people get arrested, when innocent Black people are truly harmed. And I don't like the fact that Mayor Baraka and his team are saying that he's being slighted because he's Black. I don't like that. That's like crying wolf, and there's no wolf. Stop it. Stop it. Like a lot of let's really do the polls on who support illegal immigration and who do not. People have already been talking about it in their circles. You got the self-righteous people. Oh, yeah. Nobody's illegal. Yeah, nobody's saying that people exist illegally. But people are saying they didn't go through the right process to get into this country. And nobody is against people coming into this country and making a life. And shout out to my Jamaicans that have paid their dues, who have come here and elevated themselves and, do what they need to do, and they end up going back home. and building there. Shout out to them. I mean, and shout out to the ones who don't do that, but who solidify themselves and create stable homes in New Jersey. Shout out to them. And I've been talking to them a lot about this issue, and they've been expressing some things, some ways that they feel, because they feel like they should get reimbursed. Are you going to reimburse the people who came here legally, who went through the process and paid their money and earned their way? They earned their keep, and they continue to make a contribution to American society. And I think to say that people who come here illegally automatically start making a contribution to this society makes no freaking sense, because if you are not authorized to work, you don't work, or people are employing you illegally and most likely are exploiting you or exploiting those people. So now we're comfortable with illegal hirings? Like, stop it. And this is why I agreed with Zaire last week when he said it was all political grandstanding. Because it was. Good evening, Will. How are you? I'm looking into the comments. We have to stop we have to stop. Like, we have to focus on the issues at home, the issues that affect the people. And also what I'm curious about is who is paying the legal fees for Mayor Baraka being arrested. He had a court date today. The state, it said the United States of America versus Raz Baraka. Are the taxpayers of Newark footing the legal bill? Or is he paying the legal fees on his own? And Zaire mentioned something very interesting about that, because if he was acting in an official capacity, now he has a really big problem. Now he has a really big problem because he overstepped and went beyond his official capacity. He had no reason to be there. Let the Congress people do what they were doing. Let the protesters do what they were doing. Well, the Congress people, I believe, stepped out of line, and they just looked horrible. Horrible. Let's see. Will says, has any other candidate for governor was attempting to visit Delaney Hall regarding this issue? I don't think they should have. Because prior to Delaney Hall, there was a detention center in Elizabeth, New Jersey that none of them visited. Not even, I can't think of his name. I think it's Mayor Borwich of Elizabeth. If it's still him, none of them visited that detention center in Union County. None of them. Nobody. And when immigration was under Essex County, when Essex County was housing illegal immigrants, none of the elected officials went there to address that. Now, the protesters addressed it. The protesters have always been out there. They've always been out there. But none of the elected officials have gone into Elizabeth. And the reason why they switched the facility from Elizabeth was because it only had 200 beds, and Delaney Hall was bigger, and it was being shut down as a halfway house to transition parole Black men, majority Black men. You had some people in there who weren't Black, but you had, so they had, I think, 1,000 beds or 1,100 beds or something at Delaney Hall, and in Elizabeth there was only 200. So nobody protested it in Elizabeth. None of these elected officials, none of these candidates. And I think it was smart of them not to, because these people are here illegally. Now, if, like I said, they were innocent, there's organizations for that. There's GoFundMe's, there's community organizing. But if an elected official in Newark can sit there and sick the police, arm residents, and militarize city council meetings and not feel like that was wrong, but go to Delaney Hall, they're delusional. Completely delusional. They're not a real elected official. They were slid in. That's all. They just know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody at the top. Basically, they're not really there off of their merit at all. They're not in their position for merit. And like, there's no other way I can put that, because why are you there when you're telling residents, you're banning residents city council meetings, sicking police on them, and then you're not addressing the slumlords in the city of Newark and not putting these developers' properties into receivership because people are living with rats, other type of rodents, vermin, roaches, cockroaches, water damage. You know, they say that they can't help. There's nothing they can do. If you roll the tapes back and go to the city council meetings, you have the former council president, who is now congresswoman, telling people, we'll look into it. Oh, there's nothing we can do. And then even with the housing crisis in Newark, with people not being able to have affordable housing, you have the council president, who is now the congresswoman, the 10th congressional district, telling people, oh, there's nothing we could do to give you housing. There's basically no legislation we can do for affordable housing. There's nothing we can do. You're telling people there's nothing you can do, but then you go down to Delaney Hall for what? To investigate the site just for Congresswoman, what's her name, Watson Coleman, to come out and say, oh, everything is safe and fine. It's all peachy. You didn't even find not one violation. Are you kidding me? Williams says the 3 congressional representatives, where they can do this duty fact check. Right. I believe, yeah, right. They can, but why? What was the point? What was the purpose? Besides political grandstanding. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Oh, my apology. My mic was muted. But yeah, the congresswoman, yeah, they can go there. But at the same time, what was the mission? What was the point? Just because you can go somewhere doesn't mean you have to go or you should waste time going. What was the point? To show Trump up? And then what? There was nothing wrong with the facility. The senior Congress member came out, everything's fine. It looks good. Everything is in order. It's peachy. Okay, so what did y'all go there and do all that chaotic stuff outside of it for what? And then, like I said, the focus did not stay on whether the illegal immigrants were innocent. It just shifted to, oh, they locked up Mayor Raz Baraka. Well, he didn't have no jurisdiction. Let the Congress people do their job. You didn't need to be there. If they're there, what are you there for? It's unnecessary. It was overkill. And that's why I think it was grandstanding at its worst. At its worst. Nothing got accomplished. Are those people innocent? Are the people that they bust in innocent? And if they're innocent, okay, that's a whole nother, all right. Now they have some legitimacy of being down there. They didn't care. My whole point is they didn't care when the citizens were in Delaney Hall if it was up the code and all this other stuff. Nobody protested that. They accepted, the courts did their job. These were criminal convictions, and all right, they were paroled there. Okay, all right, whatever. We accept the court. Now, all of a sudden, nobody accepts it. Why? There's an illegal immigration policy. It's not like Trump is making it up. He's just enforcing it. And look, I'm not a Trump fan, but he's enforcing what's already on the books. If the Congress people don't want that enforced and they want to allow illegal immigration, or they want to say there's no such thing as illegal immigration, then they need to reimburse everybody who paid and spent time studying to take their test to become an American citizen or get lawful permanent residency. They need to reimburse those people because there's a policy on how to do it. Oh, okay. I took the mute off. Is transit striking again? They're back. Oh, right. Let's go to J Main. None of them attacked Joe D. Exactly. None of them. Now, the protesters did. The protesters were down there consistently, and that's why he gave it up. Because the protesters were down there every single day. And he said, this is not worth it. And I believe it was like a $30-something million contract that the federal government was giving a county to house the illegal immigrants. And it wasn't worth it because the protesters were coming down there. Hold on one second. They were coming and protesting. So he said, we're done with it. And he gave it up. And that's why Geo came in and they took it over. But Geo is not new to this. And you know what was wild is when a couple of years back, there was some conversation and discussion about building a youth prison in Newark, where on Grove Street, that's Grove Street and South Orange Avenue at the old Pabst Brewery site. And there was a protest. They had us at Ivy Hill Elementary School. We had signs about not wanting a kiddie jail. And the mayor was there in this organization that's connected to Al Sharpton, and they wanted to build, they were down with, they were going along with Governor Murphy putting this jail in Newark, right there on Grove Street and South Orange Avenue. And one of their arguments was that two of their arguments, it's nice, it's not going to look like a prison for the kids, and the parents will be closer to their children. They don't have to travel to South Jersey or whatever to see their kids. Like, what? Why are we putting the kids in jail anyway? Now that's another story, but that was what they were willing to go along with until we disagreed. And then social justice came in with Ryan Haygood, and everybody protested. Everybody came out. I even participated, and we went to the site to show, like, we don't want this in Newark. We do not want this in Newark before it even came, but it was plans of that. And let's go backwards. Let's rewind backwards to Geo coming and doing ICE. There could have been protests before that if nobody wanted it. But people didn't protest it because it's not on our priority list. Because illegal immigration, there's a policy for that. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. They're not saving anybody by fighting for illegal immigrants. Let's be for real. Will says the contract is that $65 million a year. And Che says, what is going on? They have their municipal attention on completely wrong subject. Complete crash out politics 101. This might be the last day. I agree with you, Che. It makes no sense. Like I said, are the people that they bust in innocent? Are they innocent? And what about the innocent people who get arrested in Newark? Not even in, we're not even talking about the state of New Jersey, who get arrested in Newark by the Newark Police Department all the time. And then you got to get an attorney because they automatically make you guilty. They don't even want to do an investigation because they're so lazy and just incompetent themselves. But then you get an attorney, you spend your money, everything's dropped, and then things get erased out of the computer like it never, like your arrest never existed. Oh, 65,000. Definitely crash out politics. I'm not sure, Will, about how much the contract is, but I know with Essex County and Joe D, it was 35 million. So I don't know how much Geo was getting, but like I played earlier in the show, I showed Geo in Delaney Hall. Let me see if I can go back and show you guys. Hold on, right here. Go to this link. All you have to do is go into the comments, go to this link, and click and see that Geo was already operating in Newark at Delaney Hall as a rehabilitation center for convicted Black men. So, no uproar, no outcry when if we want to talk about race, when Black people were in there, because I'm assuming, yeah, there was trust that the courts did their job and these people did the crime. All right, so what about these illegal immigrants? And also go to this link. I'm sorry. No, not that link. Oh, wow, I put two links. Okay, this is the DHS link where they show the profiles of the criminals. You go and you click. are these people innocent? Are the profiles made up of the criminal acts that they've done? Like, why are they fighting for those people if that's what they did? Do I have a clip of the protest? Yes, I do. I do, but I didn't play the clip because it's overplayed. I don't think MacGyver body slammed anybody, but she did put the forearm, she did the stone cold forearm in the Rikishi belly flop. I did see that on the ICE officer. Shay says women prison conditions, they won't protest that or comprehensive education. Right. I agree. Where was the protest for Etna Man when women inmates were getting pregnant? They didn't impregnate, like it wasn't immaculate conception in jail. Apparently the officers were having sexual relations with them, unprotected too. At that, no protests, no shutting that down. I think it should have been blown up after that. Like, come on. How many women were pregnant? That's like how many pregnancies went untold? How many, abortions did they make women get? That's the sad part. That's the sad part. No protest for that. No protest for our third graders who are now fifth graders who weren't reading at grade level. No protests against the slumlords. No protests against the fact that housing is not affordable. There's no protest that the median income hasn't increased. There's no protest that home ownership hasn't increased. All these numbers where that make, if they increase, would improve the quality of life in a city, in our city, none of that has increased. Education levels have not increased. No significant increase there. Income levels have not increased. People are still basically just barely above poverty. Also, the leadership hasn't brought people together. It hasn't instilled financial stability in people. It hasn't instilled real, genuine unity amongst each other. Everybody's still in their silos. Everybody still stands to themselves and doing what works for them and their groups. Nobody's spreading out and really helping and building each other up. And that's what makes a city strong. That's what makes a city grow too. But if everyone is for themselves, things are going to stay stagnant. They're not. Things aren't going to grow. And the quality of life isn't going to improve. Like if we had respect for each other and there was true, genuine unity, then we wouldn't have kids doing these carjackings. We wouldn't have people just throwing trash out onto the streets that they live. They would feel like they should take care of their community and make those contributions, those small contributions. Will said send him a link to the show. Did you want to join? Did you want to come on and talk, Will? Let me know. Oh wow, okay. I see you, Che, too. I see you, Che. Look at Che up here. This went on Facebook. Nice. That's nice. Wow. You always look good in a suit too, Che. You need to run again. All right, let's see. We'll say, okay, let me send you the link. I was about to wrap it up, but I will send you the link. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Zaire was supposed to come on, but I don't think he's going to make it. Before I wrap up, I'll send Will a link. Let's see. I'll text it to you. Uh-oh. Oh, you sent me a Mother's Day. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm just now seeing this. Okay. I have 1,000 text messages. All right, there it is. Well, I sent you the link now. I'm sorry for the belated thank you. I just seen it. All right. So you have the link. Jump on. Let's hear what you got to say. Definitely open. Okay, let's hear as Will. Will is joining us. Hello, how are you, Mr.
What's up? What's up, Shakima? How you
Look
doing
at
today?
you. I'm all right. How are
Yeah, so
you?
I'm out and about right now. Just getting this nice weather we're having because of the
I
rain
see.
all through the week. So I
It's
see
looking
that
beautiful.
I see that you was on the Delaney Hall issue right now. So I have some difference of opinion about
Okay.
certain. I don't know.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Let's
I
hear
mean,
them. Let's hear them.
I don't know what's actually happened at the protest, but we all saw that that horrendous horrendous as you say protest down at Delaney Hall. Mayor Barack, Mayor Barack himself was down there. Trying to what they were trying to do. My understanding was they were trying to do a what do you call it, a congressional visit by Monica MacGyver and Rob Menendez and Blondie Watson Coleman that represents us in the congressional Congress. Right now in Washington, the moments have not been well with our sitting president and our issues at home that affect everyone. So
Okay.
let me say this. Let me just say this. As a voter in New Jersey, in a Democratic area, we all should care about everybody's health and welfare, regardless of what color, creed, and knowledge they have in
I agree.
America. That's why we, like you said earlier, the Legal Immigration Act is very big in this country right now. And, race, color, creed, regardless what color you are, where you stand. Some people don't agree with Trump a lot, but I kind of, don't like him. His policies, you're not
Me
gonna like
either.
you're not gonna. Hey, listen, you're not gonna like a president that comes in and rush jobs, tries to take away SNAP benefits, Medicaid, which he's trying to do in our current budget in Washington. That would hurt. That would hurt me and a couple other people that are actually working from check to check.
And I
We can
feel
like.
you on that, Will. Why aren't we fighting that though? Why are we
Well,
fighting illegal immigration?
the problem is right now in DC,
Chase said it.
we have Democrats and Republicans going at it. Like, the debate. I don't know if you've seen the debate earlier this week with
Mhm.
Mikey Sherrill, Ross J. Baraka, um, Steve Sweeney,
And they had
full
Josh Gottheimer and all them
yeah,
on there.
Josh was
Yeah,
down. Yeah,
yeah.
Josh Gottheimer. There were some big points in that debate going forward, and everybody should be mindful that this primary has been all Essex County. Why I say all Essex is Roz Baraka from Newark,
Mm-hmm.
Montclair, Sean Spiller, and Mikey Sherrill from Montclair, Jersey City, Hudson County, Essex County is being represented, and Union County. Josh is probably from Union County. I don't know where he's from, but but I took the debate as far as I have seen from the resurrection, particularly that day in January where our police officers were attacked in Washington. It was
Okay.
like a resurrection. The resurrection was they were there to do an insight visit to see how the conditions were, and Mayor Baraka. A lot of people don't like this guy, but he's kind of, I don't know. Like I had a discussion with a friend of mine that lives in Newark.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of people I know.
Right.
Um, what happens if he were down in the polls, regardless? But he just don't do it a political stunt. A political stunt is like if you've seen the actual video of the altercation between ICE agents and Mayor Baraka and Congresswoman Blondie Watson Coleman and MacGyver and Rob Menendez. He was actually being pulled into the gate. There was some, I wasn't there. I don't know
Okay. But
what. I
why
just
was he
seen
on
what's
the
in the video.
mic? He was on the mic
Well,
talking
you know
this
what?
and that. Like,
You
let
know what? You
governors
know
do
what?
their
You,
fucking
you know
trouble.
what? You know what? Everybody. I've been to a protest like the We had a Black Lives Matter protest back in 2020 during COVID, and you
Uh,
actually out there. You're actually fighting for a cause, and these
right.
protesters, like you said, they were there every day. But the bottom line is, what's going to come out of it probably. Every mayor and every municipality should see the welfare of their constituents and the well-being of their citizens. We all got to work together because right now it's a heated primary right now. But come
Mm-hmm.
November, the people select the people of New Jersey who they select come June 10th. We got to get to work because you don't want a
Right.
Republican coming in office like Jack Ciattarelli was endorsed by Donald Trump. He's like a Donald Trump Jr. I
But
see it. I
what
see it
happened
coming.
at Delaney Hall is going to push
Well, you
something
know
like
what?
that to
You know what,
happen
Shakima?
because you know why?
Yeah.
Well, they're not
What?
fighting for the real issues that matter to the actual citizens, the actual residents who are the taxpayers. These
You're
guys
right.
that were bussed in, are they not criminals?
Well, you
The
know what?
Democrats
You know
didn't
what? You know
prove
what?
that
You know
they
what?
weren't.
You know what?
We
There
got
was
to put our
First
own
of all,
gang members. We
first,
got to
yeah,
deal
I
with
understand.
our own
Yep.
crime.
Yep.
Why
Yep.
are we putting our energy into what's going on at Delaney Hall?
Yeah, you're right. So what I was
That
about to
should be
say,
down the list. Will, that should be like number
yeah,
10 on the list.
yeah, you're
I'm
right.
not saying we don't
So
have to address it, but the
yeah.
way they did it,
So
come on.
what I was saying was that there was no bus there during that protest or any bus that the Attorney General of the U.S. I guess the Attorney General of the state of was it the state of New Jersey or the U.S. Attorney saying that there was a bus there that he was charged with trespassing, and if people know what trespassing is, they know by the law. But there was no bus there, no detainees being escorted off the bus. I didn't see no bus in the video. I don't know if you seen one, but to my knowledge, the people that was at the protest, yeah, the only buses were around was they were parked,
So there
and
was
that,
nobody, there weren't any people in it. And see, now that makes it worse for them. If there were no detainees in there, why are y'all down there?
well, no, what I'm saying is though, they said that a bus was parked coming into the gate
Yeah, they
at
said
Delaney Hall. There was no bus there. Trust me, it was none. Because if there was a bus there, why would public officials prevent them from coming to doing their job? You know what I'm saying? But it's
I
all gonna
agree.
white out.
I agree.
It's all gonna white out in the wash. You know, it was a court hearing today. You know, it's a court hearing in
What
July.
happened there?
So yeah, in
Wait,
July.
what happened? Did you go to the court? I didn't
No,
go,
I
so
actually
I don't
didn't
know the
go.
details.
I actually didn't go. That the U.S. attorney believing that there'll be some type of court date in July, going back to court. But back to other
Wow.
issues in New Jersey Transit. You know, we're in the needs of 24 hours, within less than 24 hours of a transit strike. You know,
And
that's going to
now,
affect.
and that's important too, because
Exactly.
like what's going on? We need to be focused on that. How are we going to move around those of us who use public transportation? And is this going to affect us commuting from New Jersey to New York, New Jersey to Philadelphia, or even just different parts of New Jersey?
And the sad thing about it is that listen, I ride New Jersey Transit practically every time I go down to Newark, and I
Right.
see. And what I don't like about this is that there's employees that work for New Jersey Transit. Okay, I'm not going to mention no names. I'm saying, but there's a policy, and you can look it up. You can check it out yourself. There's a policy when a commuter doesn't have a ticket. Okay, a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know, probably forgets to pay for the ticket, and they're
Right.
charged a $5 fee. And
Right.
I've tried to
Yeah,
bring
that
this.
happened to me here.
That's crazy. That's
That
literally where
is.
the hell is what is it? Where the hell does this money goes to when they collect it on the train?
That's
If they're
true.
saying that you want to raise and pay, well, what do we get as commuters? We get late trains.
Yeah.
The employees that drive the bus. Okay, that's, hey, I'm a union guy too, but I'm saying
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
employees that work for transit, right? The take home cars that they get, you know, the lucrative salaries in the executive branch, right? Let's
Mm-hmm.
just end it because New Jersey is going to get affected either way because, you know, it's going to be a lot of chaos. We have
Oh my
commuters
God.
from East Orange, Newark, Irvington that are affected, you know, people
Yeah.
to get around with commuters. But I'm saying as though, and that's the case, that the $5 fee should be waived. I mean, that shouldn't be charged. A commuter should, if a commuter like you or me gets on the train and pays a monthly fee or a daily ticket, and I forget, oh, you know what? I forgot my ticket. You know, this $5 fee. Plus, you're paying a $5 fee plus your
Yeah.
fare. And they
Yeah.
said that these guys that are engineers, okay, if they don't want they want a pay raise. So if they get a 200,000 pay raise, where the hell do we pay that income? Mean that raise in fare? I mean,
Right.
like right here, I live practically Highland Avenue train station. Orange train station on Lincoln Avenue is up the street. Okay,
Right.
so I live
Right.
approximately two train stations. Okay,
Uh-huh.
what they have the station in Orange. Listen to this: a
Uh-huh.
commuter a commuter gets up in the morning, gets the train. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The train station gets locked. Right? There's no public
What?
access to bathrooms
What?
in orange. So,
Wow.
yeah, exactly. A train station is locked at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's freezing cold on the weekend. We have nowhere to stand out in the frigid temperatures that we wait for the train.
Oh my
So you want
gosh.
exactly.
I didn't know that was happening. What?
You know now. You know now because I've dealt with it. You know,
Wow.
I just don't like the bully mentality that New
Yeah.
Jersey Transit puts on the commuters like me or you or average Joe or whoever takes a train. You know, it's just sad. It's
Yeah.
unfortunately that we have to go through this. Hopefully, they'll get it resolved. But a $200,000 pay raise, how's that going to affect? Is that gonna raise? How much is it raise? Your pay? I pay
They're gonna raise
$15.
the
Listen,
rates. They're gonna
yeah,
pass it
listen.
on to us, the commuters.
Yep, yep.
That's what's gonna happen. I already
It's
know.
it's gonna it's gonna happen. But it's unfortunate. Hopefully, it doesn't happen. But New Jersey has to step up. The voters
Yes,
of
voters
have to
do.
step up. They have to step and say, "Listen, we got to vote. We got to vote come June 10th. Who's the main guy, or who's the main person that each of the party is going to represent? Because we can't go into an election come November, and New Jersey all of a sudden. Remember the last election, Shakima, right? Jack Chitterelli almost beat Phil Murphy.
Oh
You know why
yeah.
he didn't beat?
Oh
You
yeah.
know why he didn't? You know why he didn't beat Phil Murphy? Because it was Essex County. Essex County is one of the most prominent voters in the state of New Jersey. Everybody has to come through Essex County. Everybody has to come through Essex County to get their vote. East Orange, Newark, Irvington.
Right.
It's unfortunate that we don't go out and vote that we should have. We should have
Right.
in Essex County a representation, and we have. Let's see. Hold me out. Wait, let me. But we have to have good, strong voting numbers in each of these cities come before November, because you know what they're going to say? Oh, Orange ain't voting. Well, how many
Mhm.
people voted? Say about 2,000. So in Orange, New Jersey, I lived here all my life. So we have like 30,000 residents, and it's like
Mhm.
16, 17,000 only vote in the township. And the numbers are, really primaries, the numbers are real low in the primary. And that could
Wow.
e- that could
Yeah.
that could be
Yeah.
either dangerous or helpful to the party. Like
I
you
don't know
like
about that right now.
yeah, I don't know. I don't
Everybody needs to vote right now because it's so many candidates.
Yeah, there's about 6 of them. You know what's
Yeah.
funny? Their last debate that they had, Sean Spiller did not qualify for the debate for some odd reason because of whatever. But
Wow.
that was a lively conversation that we had as a debate. If you watched the debate, you've seen different topics as far as New Jersey transit, education, the jobs.
Yeah.
They actually brought it to a forefront of the local topics that are being discussed in this election, regardless if you live in Hudson County, Bergen County, Essex, and Union County. We all need to get out to vote. And this is our motto in Essex County. Like Joey D says, Essex County is first,
Essex
whatever.
first. Essex first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to be the first one,
Essex first.
not the
I
last
agree
one.
with him on that one though.
Yeah.
I agree.
We
Yeah.
can't, because and other topics, like the trans strike, hopefully it doesn't happen. It's gonna come out to
Hmm.
and May 20th is the last day to register to vote in this election. May 20th is the last day
May
to
20th.
register to vote.
Okay.
Yep,
That
May
is,
20th.
let's see. That what day is that? Tuesday?
Yeah, yep,
Okay.
yep.
So get out there and vote and register, people, Tuesday. If you want to see a difference in New Jersey, if you're a Democrat, primaries are June, what day? June 6th, right?
Yeah,
But you gotta be
yeah.
registered. You
Well,
gotta
no, 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 no,
look,
no, no, no. Shakima,
June 10th, June
Shakima,
6th.
June 3rd through June 6th is early. But we have early voting in New Jersey. Early
Oh,
voting
they
is
kept
coming up.
that? Okay. I didn't know
Yep,
that.
early
Okay,
voting.
okay.
We do have early voting in New Jersey. Okay, early voting I think begins June 3rd through
Okay.
June 6th, whatever.
Okay.
And throughout Essex County, we have mailboxes. If you go, like in Newark, they probably have the drop boxes at
Yes.
City Hall.
They got it
We
at
have one.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Yep,
Boulevard for the county,
yep,
right on that strip.
yep. And we have to get out there early vote. Early voting is key, where you don't have to have to go to the polls on election day when if you can't. But
Right.
yeah, that's it. I
What
mean,
do you think?
I'm,
Well, I want your opinion. What do you think will
now you're gonna put me
happen?
on. Now you're gonna put me on the spot.
No,
Now you're gonna
no,
put me on the
no, because
spot.
I want people to understand the seriousness of voting, and then also I know you're
Yeah, I'm a
you're
diff. Listen, I've been
you're
on
a
the
district
Democratic committee,
leader,
and yeah, I've been
right?
on the Democratic committee for almost 22 years in Orange, 22
Mhm.
years without no pension.
Because
Okay,
people feel like people still would shock me. People feel like, oh, voting doesn't do anything, this and that, and I'm like,
listen.
look, if you don't
Like I say,
participate, then nothing will
listen,
change.
like I say to other people, right? Just get out and vote. If you don't vote, you don't have no voice. You're
Thank
just like you don't have no
thank
voice,
you.
no vote.
I
You know what I
agree.
mean? That's how it is. I mean, you're if you're gonna sit here and complain
Right,
now this is a major election coming up in June for New
right.
Jersey, and we have one in New York. I think the mayoral election in New York with Eric Adams.
Yeah, yeah.
But you
That's
know,
coming up.
but
I
the
seen
tri-state.
ads for that.
Listen. All I can tell you is to encourage your listeners to go out there and vote. Early voting will start. You can go to essexclerk.com or call the Essex County Clerk's office for more information. You actually can go down to the clerk's office between the hours of 8:30 to 4:30 in the County Hall of Records,
Mm-hmm.
Martin Luther King Boulevard, and you can
Right.
go vote by mail. There's no
See,
excuse
there it is
where
not.
people can. There should be no
So what
excuse.
should I say
If
to
you want,
people when they're like, okay, they're not after all this, the primary happens, the election happens, and we're in 2026, and somebody's like, oh, I'm struggling with housing. Can I say, well, did you vote? And they say no, I don't believe in that. So can I say to them, well, you decided to give yourself no voice and now you have no housing. So, like, what do I say to that? Besides, I
well,
can't help you
you know what
because
is
again,
critical
it's
right
a
now.
lot. It's
Critical.
always the people that are impacted
Yep,
the most that don't vote.
exactly. And if you don't understand the significance of voting, I've been a registered Democrat since I'm 18 years old. Now, I could have said, you know what? Nah, you know what? I don't want to vote. I don't want to do this. But the significant things are happening in this country right now. As far as Washington, we have a guy that's in the White House going crazy. He's signing executive orders after executive orders. He's just going crazy. He wants to cut everything. He just probably could slash this, slash that. You know, he was during COVID. Oh no, I didn't invent COVID. You know, it came
Mhm.
from China. But the critical mass of people, like in 2020, when no one couldn't go to the polls, it was a mass voting. It was a mass voting for Joe Biden. But what happened was with the Joe Biden campaign and Kamala Harris, what happened
Mhm.
was the Democratic Party should have picked a candidate before Trump knew Trump was already established when they switched over to from Joe Biden to Kamala Harris.
Okay.
That was the worst thing you ever did. You don't go switching candidates in the middle of elections. That's a 101
Yeah, they
politics.
learn.
You
They
don't do
learn
that.
now. They
Well,
learned
you
the
know it's
hard way.
unfortunate. Listen, it's unfortunate right
Yeah.
now we're learning the hard way. Well, we
Yeah.
got to keep fighting. You got to keep fighting for more housing in inner cities. Hopefully they don't cut Section 8, you know, and
I heard that
demolish
was
that
on the
because,
chopping block.
well, you know what? Then remember this now. Midterms are coming up. The
Mm-hmm.
midterms are coming up. So whoever is associated with that, then we got a critical mass and cut them too.
Right.
Because we got midterms coming up in 2026.
That's right. That's
For
right. That's right.
midterms are coming up. So we got not only a governor's race in New Jersey, we have a governor's race, a mayor's race in New York, I think it is. I don't know when Kathy Hochul is up for re-election. But yeah. So the Democratic Party within the state of New York and New Jersey, we got to get it together because
I agree.
the voters are going to be speaking, hopefully, in the right direction of New Jersey, whoever the candidate is, and whoever the candidate is, whoever this candidate is going to come out in the winnings on June 10th or June 8th, the primary is.
Right.
We better support that candidate come November, and
Okay.
get off our laurels because come November, we have an election. We have Jack Ciattarelli, that's a big Trump supporter, and knowing that he's saying that he's not supporting Trump, and look, he didn't even come to New Jersey. He called him up on the phone. You're endorsed. So
Wow.
whoever the Trump people in New Jersey, they're looking at that.
Right.
They're not for. I don't know what's the rate of Republicans in Essex County, but I think Essex County is the mostly Democratic populations in the state of New Jersey. That's why they call it a blue state. I'm
Right.
not for sure. I don't know. Y'all would have to go. Somebody would have to go
We're
research
gonna
that.
look into those numbers. We'll research it as we get closer to
Yeah.
the primaries, and then when we come back, we're gonna take a break for the summer. But then we'll come back in
Oh,
September, and we're gonna
you're gonna
cover
take it.
the
You're gonna
midterms.
Shakima
Yeah, we
Thomas
take
is
a
gonna
break
take a
in the
break
yes,
on the
we take a break.
summertime. Oh my
Yes,
God! So
yes.
I won't have nothing to do
No,
talking to
you will.
Shakima on
Current
having me
exposure.
on your show.
I gotta
You
take
got
a
to keep
break.
it popping.
I
You
gotta
got to
take a
keep it
break
popping.
and bring it back fresh. I'll come back with a new intro this time. Some more
Yeah.
guests. I gotta have you come on too and talk about the primaries as well. Not the primaries. I'm sorry. The midterms in September as we approach. That cycle and
Yeah. So
why it's important for
there's
people to
a
start getting
critical
involved.
there's a critical mass of 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 voters that we have to get out. I mean, I'm a Democrat. Um, I already voted already. Okay. And that's about it. I'm not gonna tell not tell nobody on air who I voted for,
No,
right?
that's your
But
business.
I know, I
Somebody
know. But
said they can't
you
support
probably listen to me.
Mikey.
Between me and you know who I probably already voted for. So
Somebody said they can't support Mikey. I feel them on that.
I can't comment on that. No comment on that.
No,
I'm
not
just
for
glad
you
that.
to comment. They just put
Oh no.
that up. I just, share
Oh,
it.
okay. Yeah. See, it's like these issues. Like I'm gonna close it out
We
in
need
about 5
strong
minutes.
candidates too, Will. We need stronger candidates
Yeah. Yeah. So
and
what I'm gonna do?
serious about the people.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah, I was watching. I said, let me get on. Let me call Shakim and see if I get on his show, and give information to the viewers of your show. You
Okay.
know, but the bottom line is this: we have to come out and vote on June and the next primary because the numbers have to go up. The people have to. The people have to stop the shenanigans.
Yeah.
Stop crying the issues. We have number one, we have healthcare in New Jersey. We have housing affects. We're within
Mm-hmm.
9 or 7 hours. God forbid we're gonna have a transit strike. The last transit strike was back in 1983, and that was for 34 days. I did a research
Whoa.
of it this afternoon. So 34 days in New Jersey, and back in 1983, they shut New Jersey down.
Wow. Let's see what happens.
And
Hopefully it doesn't get that far.
well, and I heard that our governor is in conversations with both of the unions, are being alerted
Okay.
every minute to see what's happening to resolve this strike. Hopefully it doesn't affect the commute tomorrow, but we haven't heard anything yet. We should be knowing soon about before 12 midnight. But it's unfortunate if it does. It would just hurt the transportation from New York to New Jersey, from
Yep.
New Jersey to New
Yeah.
York. But they said they have a plan in motion. I know there's a park and ride from Secaucus train station set up to go to Port Authority in New York for the
Okay.
commuters. That's going to cost them about $8. Right? There's one. Yeah, it's a park and ride at the Secaucus train station starting Monday. Yeah, this is starting Monday. So we're all left in a limbo how to get around New Jersey um over the weekend.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Well, we'll see what happens. But I thank you very much for having me
Thank
on
you
your
for
show.
coming on. I appreciate every time you come on. Thank you for being insightful and informative to the audience. Letting them know you're going back in the house. It's still nice out. What are you doing? Are you going back in?
You know what? No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, it's a pleasure being on your show. I took most. Oh my God, it's almost 8 o'clock. You running a 2-hour show over here.
I know.
Oh my
I don't
God.
mean to do it, but once the conversation gets rolling, I let it go. And when I come
Absolutely.
back in September, I'm cutting the show to an hour only, and
What
that's
about
it.
July? What about June? What about June and July? You going on
I'll do
vacation?
summer June. Yeah, I'm going on. I gotta go on vacation and get some rest and recuperate and come back
Oh,
fresh.
okay. So I thank you for
Yeah,
having me on your program. It's
thank
a
you for
pleasure
joining
always.
us.
All right, my friend. Peace up.
Absolutely. See you
I'll
later,
talk to you
Will.
soon.
All
All
right.
right. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye bye.
All right, people. That was Mr. Hathaway, Mr. William Hathaway, district leader, Democratic district leader, and my Republican district leader friends. You are also welcome to come on and talk on the show about voter registration and what you do too in your party. I vote a certain way, but I'm not for or against different parties when we're giving out information that's truthful and that's beneficial to people. And I'm just saying that because I know I have a lot of, Zaire is Republican, so he does bring that Republican edge and insight, but I don't want people to feel like, oh, I can't go on because I'm Republican. No, you can come on too and just have your facts in line, and definitely. And it's about, we're looking at the behaviors of our elected officials. So we're not also like, me per se, I'm not loyal to a specific party just for the sake of being loyal. It has to make sense. And when things don't make sense, then I have to give a constructive critique. So yeah. But with that being said, let's get up out of here. We've been, almost to an hour and 45 minutes. Wow. This was a pretty long show. All right, people. It was a pleasure. Peace. I'm out of here.